talking about what makes you successful in life, relationships, and business. It's Jump, Pivot, and Roll with Shannon Stiles and Rachel Murphy.
It isn't often that you meet someone that believes the grass is greener on their side of the fence. So it's our privilege to introduce you to our guest today because Sasha Stika lives and loves her side of the fence.
Aw, thank you very much.
Welcome, Sasha.
Thank
We're
you.
so glad you're here.
I could not agree more.
Well, you know, I'm really impressed with you. I met you. You're my fitness instructor, and I met you through the gym. And one thing that really stands out to me is your attitude and how you go 24/7.
I do.
And I want to know how you can get everything done that you do every day.
Prioritizing, brutally honest, and giving myself the availability to say no and permission to say no.
I love that. I am big on that. That's a game changer, is it not?
It's a huge game changer. So that was part of my goals for 2020. And here we are, you know, a couple days into 2020 already, and it's really relieved some stress from me that I can say no, and I don't want to do things that don't bring me joy.
That's awesome.
Okay, she's speaking to my soul.
You know
right
what?
there.
I told you would love her because you're on the same wavelength that we are, and you speak the same language that we do. You know what we want to talk about today is our why.
Mm-hmm.
And when things get hard, it's really easy to quit
Of course.
unless you have a strong enough why.
Absolutely. So in regards to my why, you know, we were just getting to know each other real quickly in here, and I have 3 whys. I have a Martin, a Tessa, and a Carlene.
Oh, kids, they're a great why, aren't they?
They are. They're a really good why. And the reason I push them or push myself for them, they learn from me.
Right.
And I want them to learn the right values. I want them to learn how to handle rough situations. And I want them to be able to figure things out on their own, but know that I'm there for them and I will help them as much as I possibly can. But I also can tell you another one of my whys. I have multiple whys.
That's great. We love whys. That's what gets us up.
I kind
Exactly.
of think that you need different whys for different projects.
100%.
You really do, because not always are Martin, Tessa, and Carlene going to be the ones that you absolutely get you to where you're going to be.
Right.
I mean,
It's true.
Sometimes for me, the why is the client.
Yes.
It's not
Yes.
even about my business. It's about helping that client get to that next point. And I would imagine in physical fitness that can be a big one for you as well.
It is insane how when we met during a bar class, how my members or my clients, they have no idea how much they inspire me. When they think it's the flip-flop that I inspire them, it works both ways.
That's awesome.
It really and truly does. I mean, I have a client right now out of my home business, Center Fitness. She pushes me more than I have ever pushed myself, because I know everything I throw at her, she is going to do, and she is going to give it her all, and she is going to put 100% effort into everything that I throw at her. She's got a long health journey, but that is her determination. That's her why.
Can you imagine when this particular client gets to that other side, what this woman, because of the journey that she's taken, because of the leadership and the guidance that you have given her, how many lives she's going to impact with her story and her determination?
And her why has changed there for the longest time. And we as women, we do this, and we are really, really bad at it. We put everybody else first.
exactly.
Right.
And put ourselves last, right? So she has 3 kids. They're the youngest one is 10. But she puts the husband first, the job first, they own their own company as well. All of that comes first. And finally, she woke up one day and went, oh my gosh, okay, now it's time to focus on me.
I love it.
I do too.
Because that's a game changer. When you put yourself first, I truly believe, and it took me a long time to get to that. I mean, same thing. I had 4, or have 4, but they're adulting now.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm sort of done. But when I stopped putting them first and actually started to put myself first, and not in a selfish way, but in a healthy way, like I count too, everything changed in the way that I was treated by them, and the way that my daughters, who was very important to me, how they seen me, and in how my whole journey changed. And I was able to give them more, not less.
Right. And that's because of self-care. It really is. And that's the one thing that I can say that, fitting everything in your day, like what you were saying. I mean, I jam pack my day in. It starts at 4:15 in the morning and it ends when I tuck my bigs in around 9:30, 9:45. I still tuck them in. There's 12, 10, and 5, and they still want the Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep, and
That's
I sing
awesome.
Old MacDonald and then give them a kiss. I mean, it's been like that since day one.
That's
great.
great.
As far as though packing things in, I have to do things wholeheartedly and I have to prioritize my day. I have a giant calendar on the side of my refrigerator that has all the activities, all my classes that I currently teach at the fitness center, and all my clients. So I currently now teach 9 classes a week at the fitness center, and I personal train 19 sessions out of my house. So
Wow.
I told you she's busy.
And we thought we were busy? Girl.
It's good, though. I wouldn't have it any other way. The best part about it is I have a chunk of time in the afternoon that I get to be with Carlene.
That's awesome.
And that's your youngest.
That's my
right?
youngest. Yeah, she's in preschool Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. Those are my heavy days that she goes to preschool and I train as much as I can. But I also ask for help, and my father-in-law and mother-in-law pick her up from school. So she gets to spend some time with Mimi and Poppy, but it's that self-care that I want to contribute to my family as well. I'm not the breadwinner, but I want to be able to show an example of why I can help with the family. Being a stay-at-home mom is a wonderful thing, but also being able to contribute towards your family is a big, big deal. So my husband was the one that actually planted the seed for the home gym. He gave me a card that said dream and possibilities.
I love men.
Kudos
like
to
that.
Brian.
Yeah.
Very good.
It was amazing. And I literally opened it up and he was like, when are you going to do this? And he built the gym, put it all together, went to the family farm, pulled all the wood from the barn, laid down the flooring, installed the TRX, literally did all the beams because it had to be safe. Right? So my why quickly changed to this is why I'm doing this for clients. So when you are digging for that why, you have to honestly do some reflection, and you literally need to set some time aside in your day and stop, shut the laptop off, turn your phone off, and write down. When you write it down, it becomes so much more real.
Yes.
If you don't write down a goal, it becomes a wish. That's it. That's all it is.
Right.
And those can go away in the wind quickly. So if you're struggling to find your why, you need to write it down. Literally, what is my why? And the second sentence needs to be, what are you trying to find your why for? So if you're dealing with your why for finances, that's one thing. If you're dealing with your why for fitness, that's another driver.
Right.
If you're dealing with your why for your job, that's another thing. So you need to dig deep and figure out, what are you driving towards, what why?
Yeah, and you also have to, if you're doing it for your fitness, is it because you want to be here for your family for the long haul? If you're
Right.
doing it for your finances, do you want to take them somewhere? I mean, it's really important to put that down as well so that you can see exactly, because that's what's going to get you through on
That's the
on hard
driving
days.
force of
Yeah.
it. It really and truly is. You know, when I did my 3-month plan for my gym, I wanted it paid off in 3 months. It was a very minimal startup cost, but I was able to knock it out. That was my why. I wanted to be able to then reinvest in some equipment again. That's another why, right? So, but I can honestly say the number one why for me, like I said, was Martin, Tessa, and Carlene. But even above that, and you know, because you've been to my bar class, I always try to end on some sort of a touchy-feely type song. Doesn't have to be slow, doesn't have to be, you know, anything like that. But it makes you come back to your center quickly. That's why my gym is called Center Fitness. And the T in center is a cross, and it's for your faith.
Oh, that's awesome.
You have to have your faith.
I agree.
Because if you don't have a foundation. Whatever your faith is, whatever it might be, and I've said this in class, higher being, you know, however you believe. I don't want this to turn into a political thing, but you have to have something to believe in.
You have to have something bigger than you. Because there has to be, when it gets hard, right? And the why gets hard. And you have all these things coming at you because as a mother, as a wife, as a business owner, as a friend, as somebody who probably gives back to her community because that's just how you seem to me, those are a lot of things coming at you.
They are.
And sometimes they can be really heavy. And so if we have something bigger to turn to, for me, it's my faith, my Heavenly Father. If I can turn to Him and say, it's heavy.
Take it.
I need some of this relief off of me. And I know, not just I hope, but I know that that is done the minute I ask for it.
Yeah.
Right? I can keep going down this journey because I'm being carried when I need to be carried. And He's standing beside me when I can walk on my own.
It also gives you the ability, I think, to be okay when you fail. Because
Yes.
you realize, you know what, it's a stepping stone. I'm learning something. And if you're facing something bigger than yourself, well, there's nothing God can't face.
Agreed.
Right.
And
So
that's
grabbing God, and, you know, my mantra is I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And
has to.
yeah, I know, because otherwise I'd fail daily. Well, I do, but.
But here's the thing, though. You learn from it.
Yes.
Right? You don't keep going back to it and failing over and over and over and over and over.
Not in the same way.
Exactly,
Right.
because you learned your lesson the first time.
Right.
Right? And that's the takeaway from it, that there's going to be testing. There's going to be walls hit. There's going to be rocks tripped over. You're going to get some scars on your knees and your elbows and things like that. But you can also look at that scar and go, yep, I learned my lesson there. I'm not going to go ahead and go down that path
Right.
again. Right? There's a big trip hazard there. I'm going to walk around it now.
I think that's why we kind of love the name of our podcast, which is Jump, Pivot, and Roll, right? Sometimes we have to jump over the hurdle. Sometimes we're going to fall and we're going to roll. You know, it's like, it's just knowing that it's okay to fail. Like Shannon and I joke that sometimes it feels so good to fail. Like, I know that probably sounds weird, but to allow yourself to be in that moment of, okay, I didn't get this accomplished. I didn't get this done, but what did I learn? What did I accomplish out of it? And to look back and see how even that painful moment brought you to something new.
And it's just like, I mean, at the gym, if I'm not sore, I'm probably not doing enough.
I say this all the time. Like, you would be mad if it was easy. Because
amen.
You're not putting in your time. You would be so mad. An hour out of my day is a lot of time.
Exactly.
With everything that I have going on. And no other woman is any different, or man is any different. An hour out of your day that you specifically took to spend time with me, whether it be at the fitness center or whether it be at my home gym, You would be mad if it was easy.
Well, and imagine if it was easy and I'm paying you.
Exactly. That's
That's
the
what
other
I'm
thing.
going to be mad about.
You wouldn't
Wait
get
a
the
minute.
results.
Why am I paying you
And you
to
won't.
not feel like I've done something? You know, I like to use my kids as a lot of examples in my life. And my youngest, who just graduated pre-law and accounting, she, in school, her and her older sister, Ari, they really never struggled in school. Like, they're just brilliant girls. I mean, all my kids are great, but these two just never really had to work super hard all through high school even. And when she was in college, she was taking 16 plus credit hours, plus working as an intern at a law office and helping raise a bonus daughter. So full page, you know, that this poor girl has. And she worked really hard and she got a C on a test.
Was she devastated?
Devastated, cried, beat herself up. I mean, was just like, I studied and I did this and I can't believe I got this. And I'm like, I'm so glad. Like, I was happy for her that she did. I was sad that it hurt her so deeply, but it was like, baby, it's okay. I'm glad it's not just coming easy. Because can you imagine how amazing you're going to be? Because you're going to have to really put time in. And some things we're just not going to excel at.
No,
And
agreed.
that's okay.
Yeah.
That's why you surround yourself with people that build up that part of your life.
Yes.
You know, I am not good at putting gas in my car. I'm awful at it. I'm awful at it. And my husband was so proud of me. I actually filled up over the weekend and he's like, new year, new you. No, it's not.
Don't get used to it.
Don't. No, it's not, babe. I love you. It's not. But, and then the other thing is I'm not a handy person. Like, I don't know how to fix stuff. I don't know how to do that. But guess what? I married a man that does. And that's the thing. You got to find those people around you that will build up that part of your life, you know? And so when you're saying that about your daughter that she got a C, she can celebrate that, though, when she earns it and works hard for it.
Right.
You can celebrate that C like it's an A because you earned it.
Absolutely. She earned every bit of that C.
And that's the thing. It's okay to not be perfect at everything.
Oh, could you please say that again?
It's okay not to be perfect at everything.
Why do we as women believe the opposite? What do you think is the biggest just blocker for us?
Honestly, I think it's social media. Like, we have this beautiful persona that we put out there. And I just talked about this
Comparison.
the other day. Yes.
Yep.
Of, look at my beautiful tree at Christmas. Look at this. Look at that. It's so pretty. Look at all this and everything else. And like, I looked at my tree. I'm like, every ornament is homemade. I don't have a theme. I don't have ribbons. I don't have a K-State tree. I don't have a KU tree. I don't have, you know, this or that. But my tree, I'm taller than my tree. It's not ginormous, but I wouldn't change it for the world. And I literally put that out on Facebook. But the thing that I wish we could do as women is put the bad stuff, because you don't know who it's going to help.
Exactly.
Yes.
You know, I'm in the process of writing a book right now. And in one of the chapters, it's really raw and it's very honest. And I talk about social media and I say, you know, we don't see the pictures of someone bawling because their spouse just cheated on them.
Right.
What would we put? Hashtag, I'm not good enough.
Yeah.
And we need to show each other this vulnerability more often because I think that that's got a lot to do with why there are so many suicides now.
Could be.
And we have 100% control over how we change that in the future.
The other thing that I, have noticed when you do put out that things are a struggle or I'm having a hard time with this or that, how many of my friends will put a comment that will say, I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to think about you. Why don't we do that?
Yes.
Because then, yes, you're going to have your cousins, your aunts, your uncles, your
The
friends,
support.
everybody holding your hand and raising you up in prayer.
Yes.
So I do use social media. Don't get me wrong. I do. Of course I do. I like it. I can stay in connection with my family because we're spread all around the United States and some of the world even. So I do love it in that aspect, but I do believe it can be toxic in that aspect as well.
I agree. And what I've found now, my social media is very transparent. I share everything. I share the bad a lot because I found that that's what helps people the most is to share the bad. And it's crazy though, because when you do that and you open your life up to people, you are crucified.
You can be.
I mean, people are just cruel.
They definitely can be, but I'm also with you, Sasha. I remember when my son was in the hospital. He's really suffered with depression and was born with night terrors, which increases depression because you can't really sleep. And it was a really bad situation. I didn't know how it was going to go. And I remember sitting in the waiting room, and I've just been bawling. I mean, we're talking puffy eyes, hair's a mess. I mean, ugly crying, right? And I took out my phone, and I took a picture of myself exactly that way. And I try to keep myself pretty together, so you don't see me that way a lot.
Yeah.
And I just said, I'm hurting. My heart is broken. I'm not sure what's going to happen, and I could really use your prayers and your love. And I'm one of those who works really hard to put out the good post because of what I do. So I take the pretty pictures and, do the tree, and it's part of what I do. And I get good response. But that one blew up. All these people seen me in my moment of pain and agony, and so much love and compassion and empathy came pouring into my soul and heart from people I hardly ever even heard from anymore. That was just like, praying for you. I'm thinking of your son. Girl, I'm hugging you through the computer. And, oh my gosh.
And it's being raw, like what you were just saying. And yes, it can backfire. 100% it can. More often than not, though, people will choose the good.
Yes.
Well, and you know what? When I put something out there that transparent, I go into it knowing I don't care what everybody else says.
Right.
It's that one person that needs to hear this message.
Yep.
That needs this inspiration or needs to know that they are not alone in this world.
Absolutely.
Or that situation. And I know you've said that to me numerous times, Shannon. You're like, I'm not putting it out there for everybody. I'm putting it out for that one person who needs to hear they're not alone, or it's okay, or I'm crying with you. I look at Brene Brown. I don't know. Okay. Love her. And right now I'm reading Daring Greatly. And one of the things I love so much about it is she talks about vulnerability and how raw it is and how we're so afraid to be that. But it's exactly the thing we need to be to strive.
It can be a huge driver. It can also be one of your whys. I mean, it really and truly can. And just to get back to that, the fact that you got to write it down and share it, talk about it, because it will inspire others constantly. And I do say this a lot, that when you find it and you tap into it, you can move mountains.
Yes.
And you can do it alone, but it's a way easier when you have more people behind you and around you.
And not to contradict you, but I don't know if you can do it alone. I really don't. I mean, of course, we're all faithful women here, so we know that we can't do it without God. But I don't think that anyone makes it to the finish line of success by themselves.
Agreed.
And I learned that the hard way, because I really thought that I could do it all by myself. And that didn't happen.
my thing is surround yourself then with the people that can help you.
Exactly.
And it is those relationships, and get rid of the toxic ones.
Well,
Amen, sister.
also, it's your own self-talk. I mean, and that's one of the things that I love about you said writing it down. Like, this girl takes it to a whole new level. If you go to my office right now, every one of my windows upstairs is covered.
And your wall.
And my wall and my bathroom mirror because I want to see it. I want it to be right there in my face, reminding me of my why. And most of it isn't about me. It's about the impact. It's about the people I can reach. It's about who needs that message and how to find them so that I can help inspire or change or encourage them. And that... I mean,
it's a game
is
changer.
the good stuff
Yeah,
right there.
it
That's
really
my
is.
why.
And that's the thing that, I don't know anybody else that knows how to do Sasha other than Sasha, right? Like,
Amen, sister.
But that's
That's
the
the
problem,
thing.
Sasha. Most people don't know who they are. Most people are living up to someone else's expectations or someone who's living vicariously through them. They don't know what they enjoy or who they are.
or listening to the recordings that they've been told
Exactly.
since they were a child, or the society tells them.
you're supposed to look a certain way, you're supposed to act a certain way, you're supposed to be a certain way. And you got to break that mold. You have to.
I have to share this story. I shared it with Rachel before. So one of the very first classes I took with you, we were doing some hard workout, and you made a comment about your bottom.
Yep, I got a big butt.
You know what I'm talking about?
I do. I got a big butt, and I don't have a problem saying that.
And it was awesome because you said you followed it up with,
I said, I just married a guy that likes a big butt.
bingo.
There you go, girlfriend.
It's not going to go away.
I love that.
Right.
I say it all the time. My hair went away, my chest went away. My butt has never gone away. So I just married a guy that likes a big butt. You got to take your flaws and enhance them and find somebody that might actually like them.
I think loving your flaws and loving all of you, like, there's so much about me that still needs to be improved upon and fixed and things that I want to accomplish. But to love me is to love all of that and
The
be
good,
aware
the bad, and
of
the
it.
ugly.
I love that saying, the good and the bad and the ugly.
I really want to hear the good. I like hearing the bad. But for me to improve, I have to hear the ugly.
have to face
Exactly.
the ugly.
And that's the hard thing, and that's why your why has to be strong enough to push past the ugly. It has to be, and
Yes.
especially in the fitness industry, you are supposed to look a certain way. You are supposed to be a way, certain, body type and, showing of your 6-pack abs and things like that. Most fitness instructors do not have a big butt. They don't. But that's okay. The thing that my husband had told me multiple times for years, you do not have to look a certain way to inspire people.
Yes.
It takes one type of conversation to have with a person to say, I like you. You're my person. I like you a lot, right? And he made my mindset change that I don't have to be perceived or look a certain way. All I have to do is be myself and talk about my life because I'm very transparent as well.
Yes.
For people that come to my classes and my poor husband meets these people on a social aspect somewhere, Ryan, I feel like I know you because Sasha talks about you all the time. Like I talk about my
Yeah,
family
seriously.
all the time. I have to.
It's your why.
Well, and
It is. And that's my driver. And I want people to know you don't have to be this persona of a fitness instructor, right? You just have to be yourself.
And I have to tell you that I would rather take one of your classes 9 times out of 10 over someone that's up there that looks like Barbie, is perfect. And I feel like it makes me, my internal voice tells me, oh, you'll never get this. You don't belong here. You aren't good enough. I'm inspired by you being authentic.
Yeah, and because I don't know any other way to be. I say this a lot. Don't listen to the person in your head because sometimes they're a liar. They will.
That's right.
You don't get to say mean things to yourself. You don't get to. The biggest thing for me is you would never say that to me. So how is it okay to say it to yourself?
I love that.
It's not okay.
It's not okay. I say that a lot. It's not okay.
But we go back to social media. Social media has trained people to say whatever the heck you want immediately. And we don't stop and think.
Mm-hmm.
So I love that, because if people would stop and think, would I say
Filter
that
a
to
little
you?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Exactly. And you wouldn't, because you know that it would hurt their feelings.
Right.
And how in the world is it okay to say it to yourself? And you say it to yourself over and over and over again to where you believe it.
Right.
So that's where, again, that why am I driving towards financial, peace, basically? Why am I driving towards fitness? Why am I driving towards more education? That type of thing. Why am I driving towards that? Overall, it's to be a better person. But you got to find those drivers to push you towards it.
And I'm going to go a step further with that, because a lot of people have a why and they still don't accomplish what they're going for. And I truly believe if you're not accomplishing it, you haven't found your why yet.
Agreed.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
When you find your passion, your mission, there is no derailing you. You may fall down. You may not only fall down, you may fall down, roll down the hill, wind up in the creek, right? Like, it ain't just a little fall, it's a big one. But guess what? You get out of that water, you may be crying, and you drag yourself back up that hill, and you're like, okay, that path didn't work, so I'm going down this one, because nothing is taking this away from me.
It's that passion.
It is.
And I really do believe my passion did not show in my life until I was 40.
Isn't that funny? I
It's the
swear.
Craziest
That's
thing.
the beautiful age.
I am an analytics person. I mean, I love the numbers and the percentages and all of this. And all of the research says that you really don't find your definite purpose in life until 40 to 60. So
Agreed.
there's hope for everyone listening.
Well, and the thing about it is mine was given to me, and I was so blessed. I was pregnant with Carlene,
Okay.
and I was 38 at the time. So she's our little bonus baby. And that's when I was laid off from the aircraft industry. And I loved my job, and I loved the people that I worked with. That was why I loved my job, obviously, because of the crew that we had. I had the opportunity to head back and have a different job, but I took it as a gift from God.
Everything happens for you, not to you.
100%.
Yeah.
And I was able to stay at home for about 3 months. And then I'm like, okay, I got to go do something. I can't just do this. Carlene kept me busy, but she wasn't that busy, right? When I did it before with Martin and Tessa, I stayed home for 2 years. But I was full into stay-at-home mom, 100%.
Right.
With Carlene, it was a little different. It was 1, not 2 kids. And I was ready for a driver for myself. So I started at the YMCA, and I'd always been a gym rat. I'd always wanted to be healthy and that type of thing, have that in my life. And I took the opportunity, and I handed Jesus that W-2 that year. My husband looked down at it, and he's like, for real? This is what we want to do. You took like an $80,000 pay cut, babe. Like, and this is what your passion is? Yeah, it's what I want. It's what I love. And he was like,
Kudos.
okay, I guess this is what we're going to do.
Okay, I just have to put it out there, and I feel lucky that I have the same thing as well. And it took us a while growing through the journey to have that kind of a man. But girl, you have got a good one.
He's
I
amazing.
have not met him, but I am already loving him for you because he is your teammate.
Oh, I have the best cheerleader. But the best part about it is that it works both ways.
Yes.
It has to.
It has to. Sometimes you have to be the quarterback. Sometimes you have to be the cheerleader.
Yeah.
Period. End of story.
Yep. So with that being said, I really threw myself into fitness. And at one point in time, I was teaching 19 classes a week.
Whew.
And it was great, though. I loved it. But not all of them were insane. I still had my silver sneakers. I love that crowd. Oh, my God, it's like working with toddlers. There's just no filter.
Right.
It's their God-given right to say whatever they want at the age of 65 and up, right? And they don't care.
I can't wait.
Right? And not apologize for it.
Exactly.
But I learned so much from that crew. And then I did water aerobics, which I truly love as well. And then my fitness facility that I'm at opened up and threw myself into that, and then threw myself into some really choreographed, crazy hard routines. And I love them and they're great. But I have to admit, the one that's always driven me, and it's always been my favorite, it's like putting on an old sweatshirt and a pair of pants that you're just comfortable. It's bar. Bar has been my passion.
Love bar.
And I'm a strength girl. I'm not a cardio girl. I don't like it. I will do it, but I don't like it. That's why I teach some of those cardio classes, because I know my body needs it. But with bar, it's just comfortable.
So explain bar for people that don't
Sure.
have never
it's
been
not.
to it.
It's not going to the bar. Sorry, friends.
Exactly.
No drinks here.
Afterwards,
so
maybe.
glad that you clarified that.
Yeah. So it's like a ballerina bar.
Yes.
Mine, though, is not like your plie, releve. I am a strength girl. I am a get after it. Hips, thighs, inner thighs, big butt, calves, and then we do some core and we do some arm work afterwards. And it is a full body workout. And the best part about it is it's your body weight, so you can handle it. Now, how many times you can lift your leg 500 times, that type of thing. Yeah, I'm going to push you to your limit.
Whew.
Yes, and she does.
I know. She keeps telling me I want to go to your class, but I'm thinking, love you, but no.
So that's the thing, though. It pushes you outside of your comfort zone. And I don't care what type of a regiment that you have at the gym. You got to find those classes and the people that drive you to be a better you within those classes.
Do you think that helps with the why?
Yes.
Finding your tribe?
Yes.
Because that's what I like to say.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking for friends. I'm looking for my tribe.
Mm-hmm. 100%. And those are the people that will build you up, like what we were saying.
So we're about out of time, but I want to ask you, if somebody's listening today and they just don't know what their why is, or even where to start, what would you recommend?
I would recommend turning off all the electronics around you. Sit down in a place that you can really focus. Have a pen and a piece of paper. Write down what you're trying to achieve. Then write down why you're trying to achieve it. And repeat those words over and over and over to yourself. Say them out loud, because it becomes real and tangible when you hear it. There will be one word that is going to jump out at you. And here's the thing, that's your why. That word is speaking to you and telling you you need to pick me. The other thing is, your why is going to change. Give yourself every 3 months. Allow yourself to change your why if you need to. My why has changed over the years many, many times. Obviously, because I didn't have kids at one point in time, but the thing about it is allowing yourself to grow and having a passion in the direction of where you need to go. Make sure that it's not for nothing. You have to have that passion behind it. Else it really is not going to affect your life. And do it with the best of intentions. And the number one thing, be yourself.
Oh, Sasha,
Excellent.
What a way to end it. I love that. Thank you so, so much for sharing your journey with us.
Thank you for your time. We're very grateful.
I cannot thank both of you enough. And there was a reason that you came into the facility, and a reason we were like drawn to each other at the end of class, and we immediately came to one another and hugged. Like
I told you, what did I say?
Mm-hmm.
I'm home.
Yeah.
I found my home.
And that's the thing. You have those connections and instantly.
Last question. How can people find you?
So I have a Facebook page. It's called Center Fitness with Sasha. My facility
Sasha.
Sasha. And my facility is up towards the northwest part of town, 53rd and Meridian, basically. So it's super easy to get to, 235, 135. I do have some hours that are open. I have the capacity of afternoons and some early mornings, so that's a great way as well. And you can even find me on Facebook at Sasha Stika as well if you want to Facebook stalk me.
Well, she's going to stick it to you if you go to her, I promise you. Thank you again. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you so much, girls.
Thank you, Sasha. Well, that's a wrap.
The Jump, Pivot, and Roll podcast is brought to you in part by the Shannon Styles Allstate Insurance Agency. Just as you take that next step in life, you need to take that next step in protecting yourself, your car, your home, and your family. Reach out to Shannon at 316-773-9864 or shoot her an email at sstyles@allstate.com. Also by Simplify My Life ICT. Is your life cluttered? Do you need help with organization? Rachel Murphy can help. Check out Rachel's services online at simplifymylifeict.com or reach out to Rachel at simplifymylifeict@gmail.com. To keep up with the Jump, Pivot, and Roll podcast, make sure to follow them on their Facebook page. Just go to facebook.com/Jump, Pivot, and Roll. There you can find content, podcasts of the show, discussions with Rachel and Shannon, and more. Plus, make sure to subscribe to the podcast on any of your favorite podcasting sites, from iTunes and Spotify, Google Play to TuneIn, and right on their Podbean site at jumppivotandroll.podbean.com. And for all the exclusive content, make sure to become a VIP member on their Patreon site. Just go to patreon.com/Jump, Pivot, and Roll.